Hey, hi Chuck. How are you going?
Hi.
So I think we lost Harneet while he was doing that share. while he joins us back, let's start off. We're already live. So how are you going? How are things? First of all, thanks for making time for this short live stream. There was a bit back and forth, planning this up, but
My pleasure.
thank you for joining us and talking about Knowledge 23 with us. Yeah, so let's do a quick kind of introductions and we'll start with you.
Right. My name is Chuck Tomasi. I am a senior developer advocate at ServiceNow. I've been with the company since 2010. I was a customer for a couple of years before that and have a long history of tech and computers that goes back into the early 1980s.
Nice. So just about myself, I'm Ishan, certified technical architect and a ServiceNow developer MVP. And yeah, we did have another mate with us, but we just lost him. Until he joins, we will start off.
He's around here somewhere.
we, yeah,
Maybe he's over there.
this happens, while we are doing customer demos as well. Like the things that are working perfectly fine don't work. So something of
He
that
was
sort.
there right before we went live. You rolled the video, and when we came back, I was like, "Where'd he go?"
Yeah. So all right. So Chuck, talking about Knowledge 2023,
Yes.
what excites you the most about Knowledge 2023? I think we have got it.
Getting a new badge. This one's already a year old.
Yeah.
It's not
Hey.
working for me anymore. I've got to get a new badge. The most exciting thing is just to see everybody again in person. This is the first time we've done a single one event in one place since 2019. So 4 years, and it's going to be really exciting to try. The challenge will be to try and spend a little bit of time with everybody, but just smiling, hanging out, trading stories, sharing what we love about the software and the platform and what we've been doing, sharing pictures of friends and family and showing off what we've built, all that stuff that a knowledge conference brings.
Yeah. So even like I attended last year in Sydney as well when we had like four different conferences around the globe. And earlier to that one, like it was sort of my first. It was not knowledge. It was now at work. So we called it now at work that back in 2019 pre-COVID. And so yeah, it was my second experience, and it was just great. Catching up with. So I connected to so many people during those lockdowns and with the virtual meetings. So it was an amazing experience, and I think it will be a next level to this time when we are just all gathering around the same place this time around the year.
Yes, you're right. It was nice to have the events last spring in the four different locations, but you're right. It was more like the fall event,
Yep.
or I'm sorry, I did that again. It's much like the October November events. I
Yeah.
forget who I'm talking to and where I'm talking to sometimes, but yeah, it was more like the Now at Work, Now Summit, World Forum Summit, whatever we're calling it
Yep.
now. Uh,
Yep.
with multiple locations at a smaller venue. It was still very sizable. Some of them had 4 or 5,000 people at them.
Yep.
But this is on a different level, a different scale, and
Yep. Absolutely.
I'm happy to do it once. That's, last time, if you were building an exhibit or something, you would have to count on doing that at least twice. Poor Jason McKee had to build, I think, 3 liquor bots or robots and send them all over the globe. And you're at the mercy of whatever shipping company and international customs agency that you've got. So this would be nice. And I'm close enough. I can pack up whatever I need and drive it to Las Vegas.
Nice. So, Chuck, we do have Harneet as well. Harneet, please, feel
Yeah, I
free
think I'm
to.
quite excited to just listening to you guys because this will be the first time I'll be joining the knowledge event. And again, I've just heard really good stories about it, things that happens on stage and off the stage. So yeah, really looking forward for this one. And again, gathering all the information that I can from yourself, Ishan, as well as Chuck. So thank you both.
Nice. So, Hani, do you have any questions that come to your mind? Like you're going in for the first time. I'm sure there are quite a few people that would be attending for the first time. Anything that comes to
Yeah,
your
I
mind?
mean, I'm actually confused looking at so many things that are happening at Knowledge. Where exactly should I go? Do I actually get 24 hours just to attend all of those things? But yeah, I think that's just not going to happen. But again, the most exciting part for me as a developer is the CreatorCon. I'm really looking forward for that. I've got, I mean, this year I was lucky to get one of my sessions approved as well. But again, looking forward to attend the other fellow developers' sessions as well, try and gain as much as knowledge as I can. And then again, really looking forward for the, I think, so the way the knowledge is launched every year, because I think that's the most exciting part of the knowledge event, right? So yeah, really looking forward to those two things.
Nice.
Yeah, we've got some really fun stuff planned for the community/CreatorCon space on the expo floor and the hands-on labs. There's going to be lots of that, so you can get your learning on. I'm doing a GraphQL lab twice because it's it's so popular that, or maybe the room is so small. I don't know. They're giving it to me twice. There's stuff for new people. There's stuff for new developers. There's stuff for there's what no matter what your level, if you just finished your system fundamentals class last week, you're going to find something. If you're a full stack developer just coming to the platform, you're going to find something. If you've been doing this for 15 years like I have, you're going to find something. There's always something interesting, fun, creative to explore and to share. Be part of that community, because there are a lot of new people that are coming on board. If you've got experience, share that experience. If it's your first time event, ask some of the people who have been there before.
Yeah. So Chuck, talking about that excitement, and how do you keep yourself going? It's been 15 years, attending knowledge, enabling other developers, and making. I think every knowledge you have got quite a bit going on. Like last year we had a game as well, and this time around we have got a hackathon and a couple of other things going on. So how do you keep like up to the beat with keep it all just so exciting for the everyone in the ecosystem? I think CreatorCon is the most happening place around in there in knowledge. So how do keep that going?
I might be a little biased from a creator perspective, from a ServiceNow employee side. It kind of snuck up on me. Right? Knowledge 10, I was a customer. I got to have that attendee experience. Granted, it was only 500 attendees at Knowledge 10. Okay? And as the conference grew, it sort of snuck up on me. At Knowledge 11, I co-presented one session with one person. And then little by little each year, there was a little bit more to do. I did pre-con training, and then I did 2 or 3 sessions. And now it's to the point where I own the CreatorCon keynote front to back. Whatever gets said on stage or demos, that's all my fault. as well as being the co-MC, and even things you see on the screen before the presentation really begins. I've got a hand in some of that too. So it's very, very fun, because it's been a gradual increase. I don't know how new people will deal with this.
Yeah.
We try to, Pranav is new this year. He's got a smaller payload, so we're ramping him up. Next year, he's in for a surprise. From an attendee standpoint, how to keep track of it all is really through the catalog and the agenda. So if you go to knowledge.servicenow.com and you're browsing around the catalog, you can add things to your agenda, and it will tell you, hey, you've already got a conflict here. Or you flip over to the agenda page and say, I've got 3 back-to-back things. I'd really like to eat lunch or take a break or hang out with some friends or swap this session out for the whatever. So
Yeah.
you can keep track of it that way and add those to your calendar. So the agenda builder is very, very helpful, and I invite people to go over there as soon as possible. If you're registered for the conference, go build your agenda, because a lot of these things are filling up, or in some cases have filled up. And based on popularity, it'll tell us, do we need 2 sessions of that?
Yeah. And I think again, creative on sessions are almost full. So even I tried adding them to the agenda. They're already full. Looking forward to get some seats on the fly. So
Get added to the waiting list anyway. If you still want to do that, things like I think the book signing had a certain limited number of spots, but
yeah,
that was from a physical capacity. We're going to be queuing and going through. So if it says 100 people, put your name on that list because I'll have at least 150 books to give away and sign, and Brad
yeah,
Tilton will be there, and we get selfies, the whole thing. The whole idea behind that particular one was people said, "Where can I meet Chuck? When will he be at a place where I can just get a selfie?" Because some people, that's one of their main objectives for whatever reason. They tell me, "I've accomplished one of the goals in my life," and I look at them and say, "Well, time to get a higher goal." You checked that one off. So put your name on the waiting list. There's going to be some really good stuff out there. Oh, the other thing, I should mention there's a new policy this year where we are going to start. If you put your name on a list, you better be there 15 to 20 minutes before. So let's say you're going to Chuck's GraphQL lab and you sign up for CCL 1141 and you're good to go. If you show up at 5 minutes before, your seat may be already have given away. So be there early
yeah,
because we don't want to let people in late. That disrupts the flow. Chuck's going to be presenting. The QR code will already be gone, and now you get into the session late, and it's like, this
yeah.
isn't working. It's not good for the attendee. It's not good for the speaker. It's not good for the people around you. So be there early because your seat could be given away as much as 5 minutes beforehand. So want to just stress that. Don't be late. Be early. Be super early to everything.
Nice. Yeah. So yeah, in terms of like what we've already been talking about this, but what can the uh, the other developers and the community expect from as a takeaway from knowledge? Like,
Oh my! Lauren and I just recorded a podcast that'll be going out next Wednesday
okay.
about all the expectations, and we called it our survival guide.
Yeah.
Things you should bring, things you should know, things you should do before, during, and after the conference.
Yeah.
Uh, what I would do is go with some expectations, go with some goals. Say, my goal is to learn all I can about integrations, or my goal is to learn all I can about ITOM. Set yourself objectives. If you just go there and wander around aimlessly, you're going to come home with kind of like what I do when I'm at the grocery store with no real agenda for meals, right? I wind up with this basket full of food and I really don't have anything that goes together. There's no plan.
Yep.
If you go with a plan, you're more likely to have success. I mean, your company, your organization, your family, whatever has sent you there for a reason. You need to fulfill that reason. If their plan for 2023 is to implement, RPA, find the RPA sessions, find the RPA product managers, get some one-on-one time at the Ask the Experts. Find those catalog items that you can sign up for around RPA. Then you check them off as you go, and when you get back, you have content to share with your company. When you share that, it proves you met these objectives, and you're more likely to get to go next year because they said, we paid a whole bunch of money to get you some RPA knowledge, and you did that. Good. Well, let's go again next year. You might also have additional information. You say, well, I was talking to somebody about RPA. They also told me about Integration Hub, or we also got on this side tangent about language translation because I said, this is one of our other objectives. So, if you get extra content, great, but bring home that one focus idea of this is why I went, I got it, and this is what I'm going to bring back. Just put it in your head now to
Yeah.
expect to do a couple of slides in PowerPoint for your team.
Yeah, I think we have got Kali also watching this stream, and she did a stream recently on knowledge with Selena, where she walked through all the knowledge website, agenda builder, and everything. So our viewers can also see that session. I'll put in the link in the comments.
The bonus material is going to be the people you meet, the business cards you collect, whether they're paper or digital or whatever, the contacts you make are invaluable. So keep track of those. Don't lose them. the everything else is kind of extra. If you want to sing karaoke, that's a fun time. If you're going to the concert on the last night, absolutely. If you get invited to a vendor party or something, you've got another opportunity to meet and greet people. So be ready to engage and have your business cards ready. I'll tell you, I've seen more than once. I think it was on last year's Knowledge site. We had some little banners at the bottom of little phrases that people said. And my quote was, I have seen career trajectories change at Knowledge, including mine. That's no joke. It's happened at Knowledge 10 when I went from being a customer to an employee. And even internally, I was having discussions at Knowledge 15, and somebody says, "Hey, Chuck, I think you'd be good for my team." And a few months later, I made a switch. So there are career opportunities if you're open to that. I'm not saying everybody's going there to job hunt. Okay. Don't tell your boss I'm going to Knowledge to find a new job. That's not the way to do it.
Yep. So even for talking about me as well, like last year I spoke at CreatorCon, and I was very very nervous about it. So how I going to be speaking in front of so many people, and it might just not go the right way. But at the end of the session, it was just an amazing thing that happened to me, I think, and I've been eagerly waiting for that. So yeah, this time around I'm there again. So
So let me
look.
ask you this. What words of advice do you have for somebody who may be presenting for the first time? How did you get over that? What was your
Yeah.
takeaway?
So yeah, like I would say just don't think about it. Don't stress about it too much. Just put in your when the content call comes out. Just think about a session. It can be the best thing that I do is pick up a use case from my my work, that something that I worked on, something interesting. And yeah, just think about it, build up a topic and the agenda. And before the submission happens, we do have the office hours with you guys, with the dev team, who help us bring up our topic and also the abstract. And yeah, once that is done, you've got it all approved. You just have to prepare a slide and so maybe a small demo with that, and that's something that you have done already, right? So it shouldn't be a problem. If you're speaking on something that you are comfortable with, about, like something like I spoke about flow designer last time. I work with it quite a bit, and I actually love working with it. So you know that definitely works out.
I like to remember that the audience is my family. These are my friends. These are the people who want they when you're in the audience, you want that speaker to succeed. So if I were sitting there listening to Ashan,
Yep.
I wouldn't be going, well, I don't know about that tie he's wearing. What developers? It's I'm listening and absorbing, and I want you to succeed. And if there's a stumble or whatever, it's like, fine, we all do that. But
Absolutely.
there's a comforting feeling in knowing your audience is on your side. So don't get nervous about presenting. If you practice, it will go much better. That's just general presentation tip 101 there. Practice, practice, practice. But know that you may stray from the script if you have to. Don't memorize it so much that you get up there and say, "Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming to my session on GraphQL." That's a bit too rehearsed, if at all.
Yeah.
Be yourself.
So Chuck, what happens if suppose if I'm presenting for the first time and if I overrun my own session, or if there are too many questions coming from the audience? So what really happens in those scenarios?
If you're running long, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Keep an eye on the clock. If you've got a 20-minute session, remember there's some changeover time. I think we recommended 10 to 12 minutes for the actual presentation, and the Q&A. Somebody will generally be there for the presentations going, you got 5 minutes or so. So they'll help you think about that. You need to gauge your answers based on that. It could be somebody asks a question that could take the next 25 minutes. You have to recognize that's a pretty deep topic. I don't think we're going to have time to cover that. However, if you catch me, at 3 p.m. today, I'd love to talk to you about that in more detail. So you are in charge of the clock, not the clock in charge of you. So make sure that you are kind to the next presenter, because nothing makes someone madder than going, hey, I was supposed to go on at 3:20 and it's 3:25 and they're still answering questions. They should have stopped 10 minutes ago. Now I've got less time to present. So that's not a good situation. You don't want to find yourself in that.
That makes sense. And so apart from the Creator Con and of course the karaoke sessions, what else can people who are not developers can expect at the Knowledge?
We've got keynotes, particularly the Creator Con keynote is Thursday at 1 p.m. So I will be co-emceeing with Lauren McManaman, my fellow developer advocate. We've got a series of demos around App Engine, Automation Engine, the Devies Award. We've got an MVP fireside chat with one of our MVPs. So lots of stuff in that 1 hour that we've got for the CreatorCon keynote on Thursday. It's going to be one of the last things we do too, because the party isn't too long after that. There is a hackathon Tuesday. So if you're thinking about showing your chops, that's a good place to do it. If you're not a strong developer, come to the hackathon anyway. The best teams I've seen have had the diverse roles made up of them. They may have 1 or 2 strong developers. They have a project manager. They have somebody who can do the sales pitch. I mean, that's important. You could be the smartest 5 developers on your hackathon team, but if nobody can get up there and really sell the idea of what you built, why it's valuable, someone else is going to steamroll right over you and go, well, our app was better. It may have technically been better, but you got to have that diverse team. Those are the ones that really take the cake on the hackathon. What else do we have? I made a list because I knew you were going to ask me something like that. Let me look. We had the hackathon.
We've got
We've
the
got,
dev
we've got
meetup
some
as well.
fun activities. In the past, we've played Jeopardy. I built a Jeopardy game from the TV game show where you kind of do this trivia answering question thing backwards. That's been a lot of fun in all the locations, 2019, 2020. We played it virtually. We played it in real life. Somebody asked me last year, let's play Family Feud. This is more of a you guess the answers to a survey. You've probably seen the questions I've been asking for the last several months on LinkedIn, like name a former or current developer advocate, right? And somebody slams the button and they answer the questions, and then it goes to their team and they answer more questions. And if they get it wrong, it's a really fun time. So there's going to be 2 teams of 5, and we're going to play that twice. So I'm, in the next week or so, I'm going to be setting up what those 20 people look like and who's playing, and see if someone can earn this coveted badge for their lanyard.
I think a lot of people have been excited about this Family Feud. I think we've been looking at questions coming on LinkedIn. A lot of people have actually answered them.
Yes, thank you, everybody. So if somebody says, name a standard out-of-the-box table from ServiceNow, they go, who answered that? It's like, well, your peers in the audience did. Don't look at me. These aren't my answers. They made them up. There's been a lot of fun, aside from just writing the app on ServiceNow. I've been sneaking some pictures out about the hardware, because I said, I want that experience of people smacking buttons and lighting things up and sound effects, the whole experience. So Jason McKee, who is famed for making LiquorBot and the ServiceNow Kegerator, he and I have been having design sessions, and I 3D printed some boxes, and I got all the parts, and we've got Arduinos involved and Raspberry Pis involved. And there's all kinds of 3D printing, custom circuit boards, and schematic capture. It's been a technical cornucopia of skills. As I mentioned to somebody this morning on one of the office hour sessions, I said, this one project of Family Feud is like an orchestra. And the Service Portal app is the string section, but there's Arduino and there's printed circuit board. I've had to exercise some skills that have come from the last 45 years of experience. It goes back into my college years of basic electricity to put these things together. And I've just had a blast. And I've got a short promo video of how this was all built out that I'll put online soon. And I'm going to release all of the components to my GitHub repo as soon as I finish the README file. So maybe you just you don't want the ServiceNow piece, you just want buttons that you can smack, you can build that.
That's a good one. I'm really looking forward for the code. I think this has a multiple use cases, and it's just not the ServiceNow related questions that can be added in here, but I think it can be extended to other
Right.
parts.
I started with a spreadsheet of about 3,500 questions, but none of them were ServiceNow related. It was, name a color on a stoplight or on a traffic light, and somebody says red, all right, or name something you wish your mother-in-law would do differently. So there's different questions for the general populace. So I said, I want to ask ServiceNow questions at CreatorCon. So I said, where am I going to get the data? From the public, of course. You can't just go ask somebody on Facebook, hey, name a standard out-of-the-box table extended from task. They don't answer it very well. In fact, some of the answers I got on LinkedIn made me question how many of our audience really knew, name a ServiceNow CEO. And I think somebody mentioned me. I said, I've never been, and nor do I want to be a CEO.
So that's the thing, right, Chuck? Like if we go to the knowledge sessions, right, and go to the agenda and go to speaker bio, so it says the face of service now. So that's the reason everyone.
Where did you see that? Who said that?
So yeah, it's if we go to any session that you are hosting,
Is that
and click
really?
on your speaker bio, it does say that the face of
It does
service
say
now.
that. He's been
Yeah,
called the face of ServiceNow. Well, somebody must have said that at some point.
yeah, yeah, it is as well, right? So I would not deny that.
I'll say that maybe the face of the ServiceNow developer ecosystem. There's a lot of people that don't know who I am. Last year, I think it was in New York, I walked into the pre-con training and I was just looking around, and one of the instructors said, "Oh my gosh, we have a celebrity," and he called me up on stage. These people just joined. This is their first course. They have no idea. So we went back and forth on some real simple questions like, what's the favorite thing you've learned so far this week? But they didn't know to ask me where I get my bow ties or anything. It was completely so one of those cases where you got to know your audience.
So, Chuck, you've done this so many times. What's the best personal experience of yours? Being acknowledged. I don't know. It can be a funny incident. It can be a good learning for yourself as well.
I like in general. I like spending time with people. If I could spend 20 minutes with every person at the conference, I would be happy. Obviously, that's not practical. I especially like those random encounters that I didn't expect. One year, I think it was Knowledge 17, I sat down and I was waiting for the shuttle to take us to the convention center, whatever it was, and I was sitting next to David Liu. Oh, it's David Liu, like the David Liu from the demo data, one of the founding forefathers of our company. And we had a chat. He knew who I was. I said, David, have we actually formally been introduced? And we've been friends ever since. There is one individual who I have seen at every Knowledge that's been in person. So 20 and 21 don't count. We met at Knowledge 10 over breakfast. His name is Drew. I can't even remember his last name. We have the most micro relationship ever. We're at Knowledge. Sometimes we'll meet on day one. Sometimes we'll meet at the last possible minute. And we just say, hey, Drew, let's get our selfie. Click. How have you been? And you still doing the same thing? Yep. Chit chat for maybe 5 minutes. And then we never see each other for a whole nother year. And that's it. But it wouldn't be Knowledge if I didn't run into Drew at some point.
And Ishan, according to you,
I think that's the most important bit of knowledge, right? Again. Yeah, I was just speaking about it. So connecting with everyone again. Post-COVID things have been different, and we've been waiting to connect with everyone. So connecting with our customers or different partners, colleagues and the connection that we have made. I think that's the most important bit. Like, we know we do have a lot of information or informative session knowledge and creator concessions that are also there, but those connections that we built, as Chuck was just talking about, that 5-minute chat with everyone is just that it makes a difference. And when you are connecting with them virtually later on, it there
Yes.
you can see the difference. So yeah,
Yeah, they
I
become
think
people.
looking forward to
It,
that.
it's very relatable. It's different when you've got a Slack connection and it's an alias or something. You're not really connecting. It might be a little more solid through something like LinkedIn, but still, sometimes when you're busy and you see a message from a person, whew, I'm busy. Should I answer that now? Once you've met those people in real life and you connect and you understand, they like cats, I like cats, we showed cat pictures, you're now friends. And then when you see the message, you go, oh, good, it's Kali or it's Sean or something. So you're more likely to answer that and have a warm, fuzzy feeling rather than, oh my gosh, another
Yeah,
message, that kind of thing.
yeah.
Perfect. And check. I mean, I've just got too many questions. Honestly, I'm just asking the ones that come on the top of my head. But again, should we be expecting anything new this in this knowledge which we haven't experienced in, or people haven't experienced in the previous knowledge that have already happened? Is there
I
something
like to think of
something?
knowledge like an amusement park. If we didn't add a new ride every year, people might not come back, right? So yes, we have a few new rides in our knowledge amusement park. Uh, we will be showing in the CreatorCon keynote more forward-looking things that are coming out in Vancouver and Washington. So
Yes.
look for that. People, the developers especially, have been saying, hey, can you tell us what's on the roadmap? How can you make my life easier? What's coming? I don't want to build something that you're already working on. So this will give you a little bit of insight on that. And I know that the same is true for any software industry is, a big thing that people get out of WWDC, for example, from Apple or I/O from Google is that future stuff. What's coming in the next year? Get us excited about this stuff. Not that Utah isn't exciting, but let's face it, it's been out since early February. We've got it on our PDIs. We've touched it. We felt it. We've explored it. You might find a few new things on the platform in Utah at Knowledge and go, oh, I really wanted to see the schema builder in schema view in Table Builder, or play around with the formula builder that came out in Tokyo. So there's going to be opportunities to explore some of the newer technologies, but to see what's coming. Family Feud is obviously new. I just built it. So that's never been there before. That the return of the hackathon is back. We haven't done that in a while, so this will be new to some people. I know that probably 50% of the ecosystem is new since we had our last big knowledge in Vegas in 2019. So it may not be new to everyone, but it'll be new to a lot of people. What else? We've got our Expo floor competition returning. In 2018, it was Mission to Mars. In 2019, it was Brew Ops. This year, we're doing a coffee themed based competition. So Jason McKee is running all of that. We've got the Devies, which is a reincarnation of the award that I won in 2010. That ran for 4 years and then sort of dropped off of the face of the earth. So we've revitalized the App of the Year award as the Devies. I just saw one of the final renderings for the trophy today. So I'm getting excited. We got trophy, we got certificates signed by me and Bill McDermott, we got prize money. This is going to be good. And even if, congratulations first to all the finalists. Actually, to everybody who entered, thank you very much. We had like 147 entries. We've got 10 finalists. And then next Friday, we're going to be narrowing that down to the 2 winners. And then I called the trophy company and they put the names on the plaques and they send them to me and I drive them up to Vegas. So it's getting really, really close now. We're down to the final days and hours before you get on the road and go to Las Vegas and start meeting people.
Yes. We are also having dev meetups this time around, say in knowledge.
Yes.
So dev
We had
meetup.
something similar before with the meetup organizers and some informal snugs and dev meetups. We have a meetup pavilion on the expo floor. It's kind of right next to one of the theaters, and it's divided into a couple sections. That's where the hackathon will be. That's where we will have some of these meetups, and we've got regional ones. So America's East, America's West, uh, EMEA, APJ, we'll have different sessions, and then we'll have one for the meetup organizers. So we can share ideas of how can we make our meetups better? How can we get more people to attend? What kind of content is working for you? What time of day? Just have those open discussions that would be much more challenging in a virtual setting.
Nice.
We've got ServiceNow photo booths. I think there's 3 of them. Don't quote me on that. I know there's at least one, but you can go in there and get your picture taken and post that to social media. There's a lot of fun stuff around the floor as well.
Yep. I think we have got a lab or some kind of competition there as well in that photo booth. That app is broken. I might be mistaken here, but I saw something similar. Brad is hosting, so looking
So what's
forward
that,
to it.
Ishan?
The
Sounds
photo booth
fun.
app is broken, so fix it. Something on the same lines.
Okay.
Yeah, everything is built on ServiceNow, right? So yeah.
Just because you can build something on ServiceNow doesn't mean you should build it on ServiceNow. There has to be a good reason. It's usually process and workflow related.
Yep. All right. So yeah, Harneet, do you have any other questions or?
Not that I can think of. Anything that you have seen that has popped up in the chat? Anything that people,
No, I think we're good. So we did have
Sean,
one.
what are you looking forward to?
So I'm looking forward to two things, Chuck. First of all, presenting. Again at Knowledge. So which is I've been the thing that I've been eagerly waiting for. Second thing is connecting with those connections, customers, partners, and my colleagues that I have. I've been connecting with them virtually and just making that connection more in person. Then they have that empathy. So as we just talk about. So
I also
yeah,
want to mention, don't forget to spend some time going through the vendor space too. You'll see a lot of new things, get some new ideas, talk to some great people. So the vendor booths are a great source of information as well. It's not all about what's on the expo floor or going to the coffee bar. Yeah, Kali said, "What's a good tip for a newcomer to knowledge?" Wow, I've got about a dozen of those. First, make sure you're well rested. There's going to be a lot of things to do, and you're going to want to do all of them, but you don't have to. And you're probably going to get more out of the ones that you do if you're clear-minded. Don't stay out till 2 a.m. drinking and then expect to get up at 6 a.m. and go, let's go to breakfast so we can catch that keynote. It doesn't work that way, at least not for most people. Be comfortable, wear some comfortable shoes. If you've got brand new shoes, wear them for a week or so, break them in, get some comfortable insoles. You're going to be on your feet a lot and taking at least 10,000 steps. You probably get 2,000 to 3,000 just going from your room to the conference center, to more if you're staying in one of the adjacent hotels. So there's going to be a lot to do. Stay comfortable. If you've got a backpack, make sure it's marked clearly with a fluorescent tag or your name on the tag, something, because I don't know if we're giving out backpacks this year or there's going to be people that have brought backpacks from Knowledge 17. There's going to be 50 of those. Okay. Yours will look just like theirs if you don't identify it in some way.
Yeah. And I totally agree with the shoes thing, Chuck. So especially on the on the first 2-3 days that we're going and attending, we should be wearing something really comfortable. Otherwise, it's gonna be difficult the next day. So, been there, done that. So
I think it was Knowledge 14. I had a new pair of dress shoes and I hated it. By the end of day 2, I had a big blister on my heel, and I would pay solid gold for somebody to give me a Band-Aid. It was miserable. So get to know where those pain points are going to be before they happen.
Yep. Nice. I think that's all we had today. So again, once again, thank you, Chuck, for joining. We know like you are really busy, and making always making time for us. So and for the community. So thank you,
My
and
pleasure.
looking forward to incredible event. Just
Yes, safe travels, everybody. I know few people actually live in Las Vegas, and even they'd have to drive. So everybody who is going to the conference, uh, stay safe. As my karate instructor told me right before our black belt exam, they only do these exams every 6 months. He said, "Don't do anything stupid." I, I did that last year. I did something stupid, and I ended up regretting it all through New York and Sydney. I had fallen and I hurt my elbow. And I don't know if you've seen that picture of me in the green shirt with my arm up in the air like this. What you can't see is that my whole elbow was bandaged up because I had a fresh wound under there that I had to nurse through the whole conference. So don't do anything stupid.
yeah. All right. All right. Yeah, I think we've covered all the questions as well from the chat. So Family Feud, we would discussed about that in detail, and yeah, we are good.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah. Thank you, Chuck.
Yeah.
Thank you, Harneet.
Thank you so much,
Goodbye.
Chuck. Thank you, Sean.
Acknowledge. Thank you.
Looking forward to meet you both at Create on Knowledge.
Yes.
Acknowledge. See ya.
All right. Thank you both.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.